Namaskar. First of all, thank you all of you for your support in the last episodes, and I am very grateful that my messages are reaching the public in a right way, and it is very encouraging that all of you are, in a way, suggesting me topics for my next episodes. As I said, that the main motive of this talk series is to spread some positivity and at the same time give out certain facts that are medically and ethically correct in this second wave of COVID-19. As India is fighting this very badly hit pandemic, we are, in a way, giving it a tough fight. Today, as I speak to you, it is a good news that the number of positive cases per day is staying below 3 lakh. But let me tell you that this is a time not to celebrate, but this is a time to be cautious. This is a time to be more, to observe more precautions so that this decreasing trend continues rather than seeing another spike. The states that were having maximum number of cases at the beginning of this wave are now showing a decline, as a result of which there is a decline. But at the same time, certain states who were lagging behind initially are now catching up. They are now having more number of cases. For example, Odisha now is having around 12,000 cases per day, which is a gradual increase. At the same time, Maharashtra is having a decrease, but Karnataka is having an increase. So this thing will continue. This pandemic, this second wave is not over, but it has entered a plateau stage where it will depend on how we manage it so that either it decreases or it increases. Friends, like in the previous episodes when I discussed about the plasma therapy, the oxygen crisis, the remdesivir injection, in general, what is the situation in India? Today I would like to discuss about vaccination. The only major treatment we have, the only major weapon we have with us against this against this virus is the vaccines. Worldwide, there are some 120 to 125 types of vaccines that are in various stages of trial, and at the same time around 64 types of vaccines are in the stage 2 or stage 3, which are expected to hit the market anytime in the next 2 years. There are single shot vaccines, there are nasal vaccines, there are double shot, there are triple shot vaccines, which are all in the pipeline and is expected to reach the global market and help in reducing the infectivity and the spreading of the infection. But what is important for us right now is to understand that how important is it to get vaccinated and how important it is to decide which vaccine you should take and which vaccine you should not take. Well, initially when there was no vaccine, there was a lot of hue and cry about वैक्सीन नहीं आ रहा है, वैक्सीन नहीं आ रहा है, वैक्सीन आ जाएगा तो सब कुछ सॉल्व हो जाएगा. But in a record time, on 16th January 2021, when India launched the largest vaccination campaign against COVID-19, the scenario had changed due to petty politics, due to unprofessional, knowledgeable experts speaking about the vaccine and its side effects. We, in a way, the campaign got a hit. The target was to achieve 100% vaccination of all the healthcare workers and the frontline workers, which was hit. It was hit badly because of a rumor that said the vaccine has come out in a very short time, it is not safe, it is a trial vaccine and we are being used as guinea pigs, etc. etc. Today, if you look back, now people are running after us telling that bhai ek dose de do, bhai ek dose de do. When you were being given the respect of being a healthcare worker and or frontline worker, and you were given the privilege and priority to take the vaccine, you didn't take that because you doubted our scientists. That's fine. The way it was launched was conspicuous, but no government, no scientist in the world would ever commit such kind of a genocide. Let's admit it. Vaccination is something that was going to be a long process. Normally, vaccines take decades to come, but due to modern technology, advanced technologies, we have been able to find out vaccines in a record number of time, and we are actually seeing the effect of this vaccination worldwide. Today, America is telling people who are vaccinated twice can now move around without masks, but that is not a good strategy. Still, they have that confidence. Israel is a country that has declared 99% of vaccination and declared itself COVID free. And at the same time, there are various other countries who have almost achieved a good amount of vaccination and they have declared themselves immune against COVID-19. But having said all this, let me tell you a few basic points about vaccination. Vaccine guarantees that the severity and the positivity with which this infection affects you, that is decreased. The severity of this disease is decreased. You don't go into a moderate to severe form of the disease unless otherwise you are very unlucky. You don't go into that phase. Rather, your body is prepared to fight with it. Vaccination does not guarantee that you will not have COVID-19 infection. Though certain studies now claim that vaccines are in the pipeline that can actually stop the infectious spread of the vaccine of the disease. That means if you take the vaccine, then there is no chance you will get COVID-19. But going by the normal virological study, our knowledge that we have, it is very difficult to contain a viral disease. But what we can always do is we can reduce its spread, we can increase our immunity to fight against it, and that's what this vaccine does. In India right now, 2 vaccines are in the market. One is the Covishield, one is the Covaxin. Covaxin is the Indian made inactivated variant type of vaccine, which is the old tried and tested vaccine technology. Covishield is the Indianized version of AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine, which is an mRNA type vaccine which has been prepared from spike protein, which is using the modern technology. And that is probably one of the reasons why we are seeing a good number of side effects after Covishield vaccination, and at the same time we don't see so much of side effects after Covaxin. This third vaccine that has been already sanctioned and is going to be available in a week's time is Sputnik V. Now Sputnik V is again, it is a double viral vaccine, whereas the first dose and the second dose are having 2 different doses, while Covishield, Covaxin are both same dose vaccines which are given twice, but Sputnik V, first dose is a different vaccine and the second dose is a different one. So it is actually two viral vaccines that are being given in one under the one brand name of Sputnik V, which is why it is being seen as one of the most effective vaccines. The other vaccines in the pipeline is of the Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson and Johnson, and various other vaccines like the Novavax, the Bio 15 is also in a pipeline. There are many other vaccines in the pipeline. As you would have seen, Government of India made a very ambitious announcement that between August to December, there will be 216 crore vaccine doses which will be used for universal vaccination in India. Now, this may sound as a very ambitious one, but actually, it is a very practical strategy that the government has applied. With almost 5 to 6 vaccines in the market, it will be less burdensome on the public sector to provide vaccines to everyone. They can now concentrate on people who are underprivileged, who cannot buy the vaccines, to take the government supply free vaccine, and at the same time others can take the paid vaccines as per their convenience. Now, as these things are going to start, let me tell you, you would be in a dilemma about which vaccine to select, which vaccine is safe, which vaccine is efficacious, which vaccine is useful, which vaccine is long lasting. All these things needs to be addressed. Another thing that needs to be addressed is a misconception that this constant changing of the dosing of Covishield is actually a masking strategy of the shortage of the vaccine. Let me tell you, this is not a masking strategy. It is actually a scientific study that is determining when you should take a second dose, when you should take a booster dose. All these things are scientifically decided. The governments don't influence these decisions. Scientists do it very meticulously. So the first and foremost thing is that this is a new virus. The period of this disease is very short. The period in which vaccine is created is also very short. Therefore, we are constantly in a research mode, and as the data come in, as the phase wise antibody immunogenicity results come in, as we get to know how many people are carrying the antibodies, how much they are carrying, how long they are carrying, as long as we keep getting these facts, the dosing keeps changing. Now, what is the need of a first dose and a second dose when it is the same dose? Covishield and Covaxin, as you know, the same vaccine is given in both the doses. So what is the need of this? The first dose is given and the antibody is formed inside your body. The antibody will reach to a certain peak within 14 days, and then there will be a sustained level of the antibody in your body. And slowly, as this level starts decreasing, the second dose, which actually acts as a booster for this, so the booster dose is given, and then the antibody titer is maintained in a plateaued way for the rest of your time. We cannot say how long will this virus be effective, because it is too early to predict the longevity of this vaccine. This can be, as I said earlier, this can be continued as an annual vaccine like any other flu vaccine we give. This can continue as a biannual, as a triannual, or we don't know. As the technology develops, maybe we can develop a vaccine that gives you protection for 5 years, 6 years, but that's a long time. There is time in that. What you need to understand is that when both the doses are same, means the second dose is a booster dose. We are starting to discuss about whether we need a third dose for Covaxin, which is actually going to be a booster dose to maintain the antigenicity, the antibody immunogenicity against against the virus. Now, another thing is that whether this vaccine is effective against various mutant strains that are available in our surrounding at the moment. We need to understand that every vaccine is targeted at few organisms, and they have a capacity of covering a few more, but they can certainly not cover the entire genome of the virus that will be affecting the people. But when an antibody is created in your body, that antibody itself can also mutate according to the antigen that has attacked the body, and in a way provide some kind of a protection. Covishield, Covaxin, Sputnik V, and any other vaccines that are going to come. Remember one thing, all these vaccines have cleared stage 2. Now, stage 2 is the most important stage where its safety is tested in humans. When the safety is cleared, when this vaccine has cleared the safety levels for human use, you should not be doubting the safety of this vaccine. The third phase determines the immunogenicity. Now, this immunogenicity is a variable number which keeps varying from person to person, place to place, exposure to exposure, work to work. Like a doctor who is exposed to a lot of COVID patients, it is natural that when my body is fighting with a lot of antigens of COVID, naturally there will be more wear and tear, which will mean I would be requiring a more effective one, or I would be requiring multiple doses of vaccines. In the same way, a person who is sitting at home idle, not going around anywhere, a 2-dose vaccine is enough for them. Even a single shot of vaccine was enough for them. The next thing that we need to discuss is about which vaccine you should take, whether it is Sputnik, whether it is Covishield, whether it is Covaxin. Whichever vaccine you get, just take it. Any vaccine right now is safe and effective. At least all of them are 50 to 60% effective. So with a 50 to 60% effective, you can be assured that you are not going into a severe form of the disease. So whichever vaccine you are getting at your nearest center, just take it. There are various rumors that are being spread about vaccines. One of them being that vaccines are going to be the mutant capacity of the vaccines are going to cause permanent disability and permanent deformity in your body. Till now, none of the vaccines worldwide, whichever has been used, has been proved to be causing any such thing. Deaths, except for few cases, deaths are very rarely reported due to vaccines. And again, the cases that have reported death due to the vaccine have some other comorbidity, underlying diseases that has led to it. The next question that arises is that what are the probable side effects one can see? There may be fever, there may be body ache, there may be sore throat, there may be a lot of myalgia, there may be diarrhea. These things, the COVID-like symptoms, may appear post-vaccination, and there can be pain at the site of the injection for 2 to 3 days. This is absolutely normal, my dear friends. This is absolutely normal. Please do not listen to any other rumors that are being spread. To say about the vaccine, we need experts to speak on this. We don't need the pseudo experts sitting in an AC studios of the news channels spreading all kinds of lies. You cannot keep telling that the person caught COVID after 2 doses of vaccine And so why are you stressing this point? Why are you not stressing this point, that a study says out of the 77 million people vaccinated, only 7% people could get COVID-19, and out of those 7%, only 0.7% people required hospitalization, and out of those 0.7%, only 0.07% people died due to COVID-19. This is a very positive thing, that we are not spreading to the world. Rather, we are spreading vaccine ले लिया, उसके बाद भी COVID हो गया. Where does a vaccine say that you will not get COVID even after vaccination? Remember, vaccination is only for your protection. Till then, post-vaccination, 28 days is very important for the immunogenicity to develop, and it is normally during this time that you are most sensitive to get the infection, and the people who are getting infections post vaccinations, it is within these 28 days. So what is important? You need to maintain social distance, you need to wear mask, you need to sanitize yourself, you need to have a proper diet, you need to have a proper sleep, you need to have proper exercise and a good stress-free lifestyle. Vaccination is a weapon to defend yourself. It is a weapon that is going to break the chain, but this chain will only break when you include all other soldiers of COVID appropriate behavior. So my dear friends, whenever you get time, whenever you get a slot, please get yourself vaccinated, because vaccine is safe, vaccine is effective, and vaccine is the only way we can defeat COVID. India हारेगा, India जीतेगा, COVID हारेगा. That is only possible when we get ourselves vaccinated. There was a slogan for polio, दो बूंद जिंदगी के. Now I give a slogan for vaccination, दो shot, COVID gone. We need to remember this, and then only we can defeat this pandemic. Thank you. Hope you all are staying safe.